At the far western edge of mainland Africa sits Senegal, a country shaped by the Atlantic Ocean, the Sahel, the Senegal River, and centuries of movement between Africa and the wider world. Officially called the Republic of Senegal, it is the westernmost country of mainland West Africa and the westernmost point of the Old World landmass of Afro-Eurasia. This location matters. Senegal has long been a place of exchange, between desert and coast, inland kingdoms and ocean trade, African languages and European colonial influence, Islamic scholarship and modern state politics. Today, Senegal is home to around 18 million people and covers almost 197,000 square kilometers. Its capital, Dakar, is not only the country's largest city but also one of West Africa's most recognizable urban centers. Senegal's map is one of the most distinctive in Africa. To the north, it borders Mauritania, with the Senegal River forming an important natural boundary. To the east is Mali, linking Senegal to the wider Sahelian interior. To the southeast is Guinea, and to the southwest is Guinea-Bissau. But the most unusual feature is the Gambia, a narrow country following the course of the Gambia River and almost completely surrounded by Senegal. This creates a geographic separation between Senegal's main northern territory and its southern Casamance region. Senegal also has a maritime border with Cape Verde, the island country lying offshore in the Atlantic. Geography here is not just a backdrop, it shapes transport, identity, politics, trade, and regional relationships. The name Senegal comes from the Senegal River, which runs along parts of the country's northern and eastern borders. Rivers have always been central to life in this region. They support agriculture, trade routes, settlement patterns, and contact between communities. Senegal's environment is often described as Sahelian, meaning it lies in the transition zone between the Sahara Desert to the north and more humid regions to the south. This gives much of the country a seasonal rhythm, a rainy season followed by long dry months. In areas where rainfall is limited or unpredictable, farming and food security become deeply connected to climate. The Atlantic coast, meanwhile, provides fishing grounds, urban access, and a different economic and cultural orientation from the inland regions. Dakar, Senegal's capital and largest city, sits on the Cap Vert Peninsula, projecting into the Atlantic. Its location has made it a strategic port and gateway between West Africa and the world. As the country's political, economic, and cultural center, Dakar concentrates government institutions, universities, business activity, media, and international connections. Many people in Senegal live along or near the coast, and Dakar reflects the pull of coastal urban life. It is a city where traditional markets, modern infrastructure, religious life, music, and global influences intersect. Like many fast-growing African capitals, Dakar also faces pressure, housing demand, traffic, inequality, and the challenge of balancing growth with livability. Still, it remains one of the continent's major Atlantic cities. Modern Senegal was formed through the breakup of French West Africa and became independent from French colonial rule in 1960. This colonial history left a lasting administrative and cultural imprint. French remains the official language of the state, used in government, law, formal education, and many national institutions. But official language does not always mean everyday language. In Senegal, French is understood by only a minority of the population, while daily life is carried by African languages spoken in homes, neighborhoods, markets, and religious settings. This gap between official language and popular language is one of the key realities of post-colonial states. Institutions may operate in a colonial language, while social life is rooted in local linguistic worlds. Senegal is a deeply multilingual country, with more than 30 languages spoken. The most important language in everyday national communication is Wolof. Around 80% of the population speaks Wolof as a first or second language, making it Senegal's main lingua franca alongside French. Wolof helps connect people across ethnic and regional lines, especially in cities, media, commerce, and popular culture. Other important languages include Pulaar, spoken by many Fula communities, and Arabic, which remains influential in religious education and Islamic scholarship. Senegal's language situation shows how identity can be layered. Someone may speak an ethnic language at home, Wolof in public life, French in school or bureaucracy, and Arabic in religious contexts. The people of Senegal belong to a wide mix of ethnic and linguistic communities. The largest groups include the Wolof, the Fula, and the Serer, each with their own histories, social structures, and cultural traditions. But Senegalese identity is not defined by one group alone. It has been shaped by centuries of coexistence, migration, intermarriage, trade, and shared religious practices. In many parts of the country, ethnic identity exists alongside a broader national identity. This does not mean there are no tensions or differences, but Senegal is often noted for its ability to maintain a relatively strong sense of national cohesion compared with many countries that inherited complex colonial borders. Language, religion, music, and civic institutions all contribute to this cohesion. Religion is central to Senegalese society, and the population is predominantly Muslim. Islam in Senegal is closely connected to Sufi brotherhoods, religious teachers, community networks, and pilgrimage traditions. These religious institutions have often played important social roles beyond worship, influencing education, conflict mediation, charity, and political life. Senegal is also known for a tradition of religious tolerance and coexistence, including minority Christian communities and local cultural practices that remain part of social life. The importance of Islam helps explain Senegal's membership in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, but Senegal's religious identity is also distinctively local. It is not simply imported from elsewhere, it has been adapted through Senegalese history, languages, and community structures. Politically, Senegal has earned a reputation as one of Africa's more stable states since independence. It is a semi-presidential republic, meaning executive power is shared in a system involving both a president and a government structure. While Senegal has faced political debates, protests, and institutional challenges, it has generally avoided the repeated military coups and long civil breakdowns that have affected some countries in the region. On the 2024 VDEM Democracy Indices, Senegal ranked 68th worldwide in electoral democracy and 10th in Africa. Rankings never tell the whole story, but they highlight Senegal's significance. It is often viewed as an important democratic reference point in West Africa, where constitutional order and electoral competition carry real weight. Senegal's economy reflects both opportunity and constraint. It is classified as a developing country and as a heavily indebted poor country, and its Human Development Index ranking is relatively low, at 169th out of 193. Many people work in agriculture or food-related industries, especially outside major urban centers. Farming is closely tied to rainfall, land conditions, and access to markets, making climate and infrastructure crucial. Along the coast, fishing is an important livelihood and food source, though coastal economies can be vulnerable to overfishing, market pressures, and environmental change. Like many countries with a young and growing population, Senegal faces the challenge of creating enough jobs while improving education, health, and income levels. Although Senegal has historically lacked abundant natural resources compared with some other African states, that limitation has shaped its development strategy. Rather than relying only on resource extraction, the country has emphasized literacy, education, services, tourism, mining where available, and its position as a regional hub. Tourism benefits from Senegal's Atlantic coast, cultural heritage, music, religious sites, and the international appeal of Dakar. Mining and services also contribute to the economy, while the country's location helps it participate in regional trade and diplomacy. Still, development is uneven. Urban areas often offer more opportunity than rural ones, and education remains central to long-term progress. Senegal's future depends heavily on turning human potential into broad-based economic gains. Senegal is also active in international and regional organizations. It is a member of the African Union, the United Nations, ECOWAS, the Organisation Internationale de la Francophonie, the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, and the Community of Sahel-Saharan States. These memberships reflect the country's multiple identities: African, West African, Francophone, Muslim majority, Sahelian, and Atlantic-facing. Senegal's position makes it a bridge between regions and institutions. It is connected to inland Sahel countries through geography and security concerns, to coastal economies through the Atlantic, to French-speaking networks through colonial history, and to Islamic organizations through its religious character. In this sense, Senegal's importance is larger than its size. It is a crossroads country, shaped by history, diversity, and its strategic place at Africa's western edge. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.